Uncoupling by Lorraine Brown, published by Orion Books, and this is a kind of rom-com set in Paris. And today's Valentine's Day, is the 14th of February, and I have spent the day reading this, and what a delightful way it has been to spend the time with Hannah, with Leo and with Sai. Sai and Hannah have been a couple for about a year, and they are just in Venice, leaving Santa Lucia station, and they're taking the night sleeper to Amsterdam. And in Amsterdam the next afternoon, late afternoon, Catherine is about to get married. Now Catherine is Sai's sister, and they're a fairly posh family, and they like to do everything, you know, with an extreme touch of luxury. So that is where they are headed. They get into the train just by the skin of their teeth, because Hannah always seems to be a little bit late. She loses things. She's a bit ditzy, although I'm not sure that really she is. I think Sai thinks she's ditzy, and therefore you know, needs to take control. Well, that's the fundament to their relationship, and it's a bit scratchy, I would say. They get in, the couchette's been taken, so they have to find just a couple of seats to pass the night. Now it's quite noisy. Sai falls asleep, and Hannah eventually gets up because she can't sleep and goes to a different compartment and falls asleep, even though there is somebody there who is playing very loud and rather irritating music. As you know, in Europe, trains often set off, and then at some point in the journey they split, and this train gets to Geneva, and then part of it goes to Amsterdam and part of it goes to Paris. You can imagine what happens. So, long story short, she wakes up just as they are pulling into Paris. She gets off the train. She's accompanied by Leo, who happens to be the guy who is playing the scratchy music. They both decide they're going to try for the next Amsterdam train leaving from Gare du Nord. So they have to get to Gare du Nord eventually. And it all becomes a real mess. They miss the train they wanted to get in the first place, and the next train isn't ready to go until early afternoon. So they have this whole long morning to kick their heels. He's actually a Parisian, he lives in Paris, and little by little he convinces her to spend a bit of time with him, and he will show her the city. After all, what else is she going to do? He has access to a motorbike, and soon she's on the back, despite her worries that, you know, this guy could be an assailant. You know, she's a very sort of uptight and quite worried young woman. But there she is on the back of a motorbike, and they are taking in the sights of Paris. They are meeting his friends, and this is all happening. It's surprising how much can happen in a very short few hours. So this is a wonderful book to really take you round the city of love, the city of light. It's a wonderful book to read on Valentine's Day because, you know, it has a real kind of prickly frisson between the two of them that develops. She is increasingly becoming wary of what Sai's intentions are. She knows something isn't quite right over in Amsterdam. And then eventually they're on the train going to Amsterdam, and then who knows what happens. But this is a beautiful book for literary tourism around Paris. You know, you will go and have some chocolate at Angelina's, and you know, you'll have a little bit of Mont Blanc little cakes and all sorts of things, and it's done with a very light touch. It's a really nice read. It bowls along at a good pace, and I think anyone who likes a bit of romance and Paris, this is a perfect book to pick up.